Good morning. Today is my 1,500th day on the road.
Usually something.
Yeah, that was solid.
1,500 days isn't entirely accurate. I started this journey April 2nd, 2015. That is 6 years ago. When I say I've been on the road for 1,500 days, that's about an estimation of how many days I've actually been walking for. But I've been away from home traveling on the World Walk for about 6 years. Why the 6 years and 1,500 days don't match up is because I got really sick from a bacteria infection after walking South America, and that knocked me out for about 7 months. And then basically this entire past year has been a wash from the pandemic. So today, Sav and I leave this slightly more lush rise in Uzbekistan. We're at about 500 meters right now. And in just a little bit, we're gonna be descending straight into the valley. And when we get back into that valley, it's gonna be really hot. I think today, hopefully, will be cloudier, so we'll get some protection from the sun. But for the rest of our time walking, we're in that valley that just absorbs and holds the heat. It's about 9:30. Sav and I have walked 15 kilometers so far, so we're really moving. We're kind of being pushed along because we're on this big road, so there's no real reason to stop. And we're gonna follow this road all day to the outskirts of the city, Jizaks. Probably butchering that name, but it's a really nice day for walking. Very cloudy, so not nearly as hot as I was expecting. And yeah, so far so good. I was able to get off of that main road, which is just noisy and really unpleasant to walk, and found this path along a canal. These are super common. I walk these all the time, and they're generally pretty direct. Looks like this canal is going to follow the road pretty much all the way to the city, so I should have this for the rest of the day, which is perfect because it's much more peaceful walking. Got a cup of coffee. Ready to answer some questions that were sent to me on Instagram yesterday. One of the questions that I got a few times, this one is in specific from Natalie Lucchiti. Natalie Lucchiti. Hope I'm saying that right. Natalie asked, where will be the first place you want to go back once your walk is completed? That's a tough one because I have friends in a lot of places now, and I know I would like to visit a lot of friends. Mind the train. So that definitely plays a part in things, is where I have friends at. But one of the countries that spoke to me most, and I think is the most interesting and has an incredible diversity of people and food and ideas and life, is Georgia. I could definitely see myself buying a home there, actually, because it's such a cool place. And Tbilisi, the capital, is really amazing. It's this small country in the Caucasus, and it's becoming more and more democratic every year. And it doesn't have any natural resources, so instead of relying on, say, oil wealth or wealth from coal mining, the people need to rely on sort of their intellect and their creativity. So there's this incredible diversity of restaurants and clubs and just people. So it's definitely a place I could see myself going back to, and maybe even setting up shop for good. Next question. This one is from Anna Santos. Pretty sure a long-time follower. I also got a lot of questions similar to this, but Anna asks, once your goal is accomplished, do you think you'll be able to settle down in one place, or do you think you'll pretty much always be on the move? I will definitely settle down in one place, but you know, with balance. I'm looking forward to having my own place and having a jumping off point and a garden for Savannah, but I'm always going to be traveling. That's just going to be a part of me. I think in a lot of ways I've become more attached to the world but less attached to one specific country and one specific place, and I'm still sort of resolving if I want to move back home to South Jersey, Philadelphia, or if I want to move maybe to Georgia or to Scandinavia. I'm not sure yet, but I am definitely looking forward to having a home base. Being nomadic like this is nice. It's really nice to feel the breeze on my skin, and it's nice to lay under the trees and to find a different campsite every night. Every day out here is very full, but there's a reason we settle down, and there's a reason we get homes and apartments. It's because we need them. It's just a part of us. There's this nesting instinct, and it's nice to have your own space. So I'm looking forward to that, and not having to worry about where I'm gonna sleep every night and not being exposed all the time. But still a little ways away from that. I just finished editing the YouTube video from yesterday in this house, which I thought was abandoned, but some people showed up to work on it actually. And they were nice enough to let me stay and edit the video. We're about 2 hours from this city, and there's a couple hotels there. I'm gonna see if I can get a room. Honestly, I'm pretty doubtful that they'll accept Savannah, but it's worth a try because it's on the way anyway. Well, as could be assumed, the hotel doesn't accept dogs. I thought maybe there was like a 3% chance of that happening anyway. So, got another hour and a half to walk until we find some green space and somewhere to camp. It's been an eventful hour or so. I found a campsite. It's not a great campsite. I also found a puppy. Or he found me. And the other thing is my tire, which I just bought, I don't know, like a week ago, less than a week ago, is ripping. So you see right there, just such a piece of junk. It's happening in 2 places. Down there. And I mean, the extra frustrating thing is that I just passed through a city. And if this had happened before the city, I could have gotten a tire there. Now I don't know when I'm going to be able to get a tire. And I'm going to deflate it, take some of the pressure off, but it's kind of begun its descent. So there's not much I can do about it. I don't have anything. I don't have nothing I can do to repair that. So got to get these questions before the light runs out. Still have to make the tent, still have to eat pasta, but got to do these questions before the light runs out. So we'll do a couple more. This one is from Laura David O. Favorite food that you've had on this part of the journey? Plav, definitely plav, also known as pilaf sometimes. It's basically a very oily rice dish with lamb, probably carrots in Uzbekistan, and some sort of dried fruit. It's kind of popular all across Central Asia. It's a staple dish. So good though. Definitely my favorite. Okay, this one is from Sophie McCarter. She asks, curious about Sav. Does she know when to stay and wait as opposed to following you? When you are exploring the city for a day, was Sav happy to wait in the hotel room? Yes, Sav has no problem waiting in the hotel room. She's really good at knowing when it's time to go and when it's time to rest. We can stay in a hotel room all day and do nothing, and she's fine with that. But we can also walk and go all day walking, and she loves that as well. So she's very versatile, and I think that's kind of come from the sort of extremes that we've lived, where we walk for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks at a time, and then get to a hotel room and crash. And so she knows when you're in a hotel room, time to mellow out. So she's very good with that and kind of lets me go out and get photos when I need to when I'm in a city. This is from Ye Xin Huang. I hope I'm saying that right. She asked, do I get sunburned very often? No, always wear sunscreen. Always sunscreen. Always sunscreen. Always wear sunscreen. Always. Okay, here's a good one from Leia. She asked, what's your favorite book? This is really difficult because I have a lot of books for a lot of occasions, but I would say the one book that I always go back to is Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. It's kind of my life guide. But as far as fiction, I'd say maybe The Great Gatsby or For Whom the Bell Tolls by Fitzgerald and Hemingway. One or the other. Both classics, both beautifully written, and both books that I can just read again and again and again. Okay, here's a relevant question from James Beatty. What's the current situation with visas entering Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and Kyrgyzstan due to COVID? Happy trails. So Uzbekistan, they shut down the e-visa. So normally as a US citizen, you can get an e-visa. Instead, now during COVID, you can only get a paper visa, which you have to apply for at an embassy, and you have to be in and out on certain days. The next, Kyrgyzstan is very open. As a US citizen, you can go there for 2 months, no problem, visa free. Tajikistan, I don't even know, didn't even look into, not headed that direction, headed north to Kazakhstan, which has shut down all visa operations and is still closed. So that is the situation for Central Asia for US citizens involving visas. Definitely patched together, but yeah. Anyway, that was the first questions and answers. I'll definitely be doing more of these. Thank you for all the questions. I really enjoyed this. Gave me something to do, something to fill up this vlog. Gonna have some pasta now and set my tent.